All right. Welcome to Launch Your Business Week 1. I'm really excited about this week because this is the fun week where we get to dream big and really dig down deep and decide what are we doing with this business? Like, what do we want to accomplish? Where do we want to take this? Where do we want to go? And that's always a fun thing. I love to do that. I love to think, okay, man, what am I going to do with this? And if I achieve this type of success, here's what I would do with that. And it's fun. It's super fun. So let me make sure real quick. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. And I just wanted to pull up a picture of the launch guide so that you guys can see that. So if you want to go to sharesuccess.com, just sharesuccess.com, we're going to open up the launch guide because that's what we're going to be going through. And I do think that some of you have, guys probably have a copy of this. And if you don't, that's okay. I think you can actually print it off this website because you can download it. So you should be able to print it. Or if you do have a copy, that's great. But printing it off would be perfect too. So just go to sharesuccess.com and click on Launch Your Business. And you can even click on the download button. And then you'll have a link or a copy that you can reference. So I'm going to open this up. I have a PowerPoint, and I also have a PowerPoint, but I also have a launch guide that I'm going to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. Screen share. Share screen. Just my desktop, perfect. And I got all right, if everybody can mute themselves, that would be awesome. I've got someone who's not muted and we can hear you talking on the phone. So, yeah, everyone will just, well, let me see if I can go back and unmute. If everyone can just mute themselves, that would be great. Just click your mute button real fast. That would be excellent. Okay, so I'm going to open up my PowerPoint and then we are going to, we're going to get going. I apologize, I didn't have this open before I started, but it'll be worth the wait, so that's the good news. Okay, Launch Your Business Week 1. So I want to just talk a little bit about my story and where I'm going with doTERRA and share with you my vision because I think it's so great and inspiring to hear other people's stories. And if I have another person that wants to share their perspective as well, that would be great. Just shoot me a text, and if I can get, I'll just pick one. So I want to hear somebody that has listen to my story, and then I want to hear someone else's story and why they've chosen doTERRA as a business and what they're planning on doing with it. And I want to keep it to about a minute or 2 minutes. So it needs to be shorter. So if you're feeling like you want to share your, where you're going with doTERRA story, that would be awesome. But, many of you know my story and maybe some of you don't. So I'll go ahead and just briefly share it. But I started doing this business 6.5 years ago. Somebody had just recommended using essential oils just for myself and my health. And I thought that was great. But I also I didn't really have belief in myself that I could do this as a business. And so it took me a little bit of time to ease into it. I did my first class. I didn't talk to a person, like a single person. I literally got a box of plain blank cards, like greeting cards or whatever. And I literally like copied or I cut and copied out an invitation and I glued it inside of these little cards and I mailed them out. I didn't call to follow up. I didn't call to see if they were coming. Because I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing a network marketing company. Nobody can know this. And so I didn't want to actually make personal contact with anyone because they may judge me. I don't know. So I didn't actually make, good connection with people. I just mailed out these invitations to anybody that I could think of. And, shockingly enough, nobody really came to my first class. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. But for some reason I kept going. I kept doing classes and I did another class, and no one came to either of those classes either. But we got to a point where I figured out my rhythm. I figured out how to invite people that worked for me and that got people to come to my events. And I learned to be patient. I realized, you know what? Most people are going to tell me no. And that's okay. Because there are a few people out there that are literally on their knees praying for an experience like this, whether it's with their health or for financial reasons. And so I'm going to find those people, even if it means that I have to be told no by a ton of people, because that can happen. You can have a lot of people tell you no, and it's okay. So I continued on doing this business, and I, as my belief grew in myself and my ability to do this, my success grew as well. So building yourself up on a personal development level is absolutely huge, and really truly deciding I'm going to do this business. Because in the beginning, when I was a little iffy and didn't know and wasn't quite sure what I thought of it, I didn't do as well. But once I realized, you know what, doTERRA is amazing and I'm going to do this business, my business grew and it flourished and it thrived, and it continues to flourish and thrive. So it's so important that you have such a firm belief and a foundation in what you're personally doing, so that you can be successful in this business. Because otherwise it's hard for people to listen, or if you're feeling hesitant or feeling like no one wants to hear this, or everyone's going to say no, or I've already tried. If you have that energy about you, it's going to be difficult to get people to want to join in with what we're doing. You know, and after being at such a powerful convention where you've seen the science behind the oils, you've seen doctors that are using it in their practice, you've seen Johns Hopkins is doing research and studies with it, and you hear from people that, like the guy that does the Operation Underground Railroad. You have these people that are literally doing amazing things, partnering with doTERRA. It's like, man, I want to do what they're doing because I want to be a part of all of these things so much. So I absolutely love this business. And, my husband and I have created a great success with it. It really has completely made over our financial situation, which, money isn't everything isn't everything in life. And you can certainly be happy without it, but it's been a great blessing for us. It's allowed us to, do the things that we like to do. We've had a lot more freedom. We have so much flexibility, which has been really nice. And being able to bless other people's lives and serve other people is also a great thing that I've really enjoyed as well. So it's been a great thing that I haven't even looked back on for a second and thought, oh, I don't know about this. Like, it's been something that I've been so grateful for. So it's been great. So, my husband actually still does own another business, but we do this, my husband definitely does help me, but I do this, it says, this is my baby. This is what I love to do. So I would love to hear, Zena, I would love to hear your story. If you'll just unmute yourself and talk just up to 2 minutes, your story with doTERRA, how you started and where you're going with this, that would be excellent. And I'm going to share a little bit more of my why in a minute, but I'd love to hear yours. So if you want to just unmute, that would be great.
Okay. So I started in the business pretty right away after I attended my my first class to help with my emotions. Just the immediate response that I found for my emotions really touched me enough that I felt compelled to want to share. So I had my first class, I think probably about a couple weeks after I enrolled, and I had about 4 people, I think, show up. And I remember feeling like I think I was built to teach and educate people and to want to share this with people because I wasn't taught how to teach a class in the beginning at that class. At my first class, I remember my friend Sally Barreto coming to teach it, and some of the people showed up late, like way late, like almost to the end of the class. And so instead of just having them sit there and not even know what was taught, I took the tear sheet pad that was given in the class, I pulled her aside, and I taught the class to her right then and there. I basically went through everything that Sally had taught in the class. And I remember they were kind of surprised that I right away was doing that. And then literally a few weeks later, I started my next class, and I had about 15 people in that one. And it was my first class doing an entire one almost by myself. But as nerve-wracking as it was in the beginning, it was fairly easy for me just because I like talking to people, I like educating people, I like teaching people. So what I've found for me is the thing that makes you most confident when you're teaching is your knowledge in the oils, your knowledge in how you're going to teach the people how to use them. So I'm constantly looking to educate myself about the oils and how they work. And I think that's kind of what's made me successful to this point in my business. It doesn't make it as scary to share to people. It doesn't make it as scary to show them the opportunity to educate and to do doTERRA as a business. And having the support system also helps a whole lot. So that's just kind of what's helped me, is knowledge, education about the oils.
That's awesome. And I love your enthusiasm for the business. It's always so fun to be around other people, that are like, this is where I'm going this next year. It's like, hey, well, where am I going next year? Because she's on fire. I want to be on fire too. So thank you for your passion and sharing that. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love this phrase, and it's something that I've heard Tiffany Peterson say quite often, and she'll say, doing isn't difficult, deciding is. You have to decide, I'm going to do this as a business. And you have to be willing to really put that out there. I'm doing this as a business. And, when I'm working and mentoring people, what I notice a lot of times is the reason I can tell they're struggling to get going is because they haven't really decided and committed to doing this. They're half in, they're half out. And when it's like that, you're going to struggle to really build if you haven't really decided that you're doing this. And there are times where I'm like, man, I've decided to hit Presidential Diamond, but I haven't really, really decided to do it. And that might sound weird because, of course, you always want to advance in the business and hit your next step or move forward. I mean, I always feel like, well, I always want to move forward. I always want to, of course, I want to hit Presidential Diamond, but you have to make a decision to do that, and deciding to do it, knowing what it entails. Anytime you achieve a new rank or a new level in doTERRA, I love the phrase, new level, new devil. New things come up. You have more limiting beliefs that you have to address. And there have been a lot of limiting beliefs that I have needed to address for myself being a Blue Diamond. It's been interesting to realize that, wow, there's a lot that I really need to overcome. And a lot that I really need to work on with myself. And, and it's like, I'm trying to decide, am I really ready to go Presidential Diamond this next year? And it's something I'm deciding right now. It doesn't mean I'm not committed to doTERRA. That means I am 100% committed. It's just, am I willing to step it up and do those things that I need to do to hit Presidential Diamond? And what I'm doing right now is I want to. And so I'm getting myself in a place, getting my ducks in a row where I can say, you know what, I'm all in, I'm doing this. Now, I am absolutely committed to growth on my business, 100%. I am very committed to my leaders that I currently have, 100%. That's nothing that's changed. It's just truly deciding, am I willing to get out there and be vulnerable and find, builders in the areas that I need, how it is when you're building the business, you need to find extra builders, you need to find, and I'm making that decision right now, and it's something that I'm working on. And I know that ultimately my answer is yes, but the question is, have I decided to do it right now? To focus on it right now. That doesn't mean, again, I'm so committed to this business. I am definitely engaged. I'm definitely doing it. I am very committed to staying, I am very committed to staying where I'm at and moving forward volume-wise, but am I ready to commit to a new rank? That's a new thing. So it's like parenting. Of course, I'm all in. I'm not going anywhere. I love my kids, but I'd really have to decide to have another baby, which my husband would tell you absolutely not. And I would say, maybe. But you really have to make that decision and be ready. And then once you've made the decision, doing it isn't the hard part. It's like, hey, I've decided I'm absolutely going to do this. So I would really encourage everybody on here to truly decide and commit to being successful, and deciding what that that's scandalous, what that success is going to look like for you. What do you want to create with this? There's a difference between wanting something and being committed. There are times, and that's what I'm saying. Of course, I want to be a Presidential Diamond, but am I committed to doing what it's going to take right now? I need to go find probably 10 people that want to hit elite, and for me, of course, do I want to do that? Absolutely. But that means I need to go and find ways to meet new people and be vulnerable and put myself out there. And so, you really have to decide, I'm ready to do that. And I'm actually very committed to achieving the next rank. It's just a matter of deciding exactly when I'm ready to do that. So, really, I would tell you that we are ready and willing to go presidential in the next year. So it'll be exciting to all rank advance together and move forward with our goals. It's important to truly decide, am I ready to do this? And then deciding that you want to be committed and not just wanting it. Like, of course you want financial freedom, but are you committed to achieving financial freedom? Because there's a difference. As you all know, anybody who's done this business before, there are moments of difficulty. There are moments of, criticism, like from yourself, from others, there's moments where it takes a hit on your self-esteem because you've attached your business success way too much to your self-esteem. Like, it's hard. And so it has to be that you're committed to doing this and not just wanting it. And, this is an excellent, excellent, excellent opportunity. So I hope you're all committed, and I hope that you all want to make a difference. So I'm going to talk about the launch guide. We're going to move to, excuse me. So you guys miss Maddox today? He's downstairs with the nanny. Last time he was on here with me, he was a little bit naughty. So I decided not to have him today, and I miss him. Well, he's just downstairs, but I'm like, oh, little Maddox. So this launch guide, I've showed you this before, but this just teaches you the steps that you need to do to hit elite. Now, the exciting thing about the launch guide is, can you guys not hear me? Can you hear me? Will you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, so okay. You can hear me. You can hear. Perfect. Sound but lower. I don't know. Maybe I cover the mic with my hand somehow. So if you want to print off a copy of this launch guide, that would be excellent. Just so you have it. But I talked about how this is what is designed to help you hit elite. Now, you may be elite and think, I don't need to hit elite again, but you can use this to help people on your team hit elite and make sure that you're doing the right basic building principles that are going to help you to grow. So I love the launch guide. The good thing about Zoom is I don't have to tell you. I'm getting a drink of water. You can actually see me do it. So today we're going to focus on step 1 and 2. There are 12 steps, and I'm going to put them together as much as possible so that we only have 6 weeks of this training so that it's not too long. So we're going to do the getting started training is the first thing that I want you guys to focus on. And I want to make sure, many of you, this may not even be a problem. Many of you are already set up on your LRP. Many of you have your business tools, but some of you don't. Some of you are just starting out, and that's awesome. So I'm excited to have you doing this journey with us. So the first thing you want to make sure that you do as you're doing this business is make sure that you have a qualifying order set up. And what that means is you are ordering at least 100 PV a month so that you are eligible to receive commissions. Now, here's my advice for you. Do that 100 PV even if it's a stress or a stretch. I probably sound like I'm beating a dead horse over and over and over and over, but I did my 100 PV when my husband and I were making $1,700 a month, and it made absolutely 0 sense financially at the time that I would be doing 100 PV because I wasn't making that $100 a month back just yet. A couple of months I did. I'd get a check for 80 PV here, 80 PV there, but the thing is that I was putting it out there that I was going to build this business. And it wasn't like, well, if it works, then I'll do 100. It was like, nope, I'm doing my 100 because this business is going to work for me. I'm going to do that. And so I find that to be a very powerful thing is to ordering right away. I had a girl a couple years back that was really had a hard time with this concept. And she's like, but I'll order after I'm making money. And I was like, but you're teaching classes and inviting people to order, and yet you're not ordering yourself. That's going to be very difficult. Energy doesn't lie. You don't have to necessarily tell somebody you're not ordering, but if you're not even willing to do your order, it's going to be very difficult to get people to order it themselves because you're not personally doing it. So make sure that you've set up your order. 125 is awesome because you get a free gift. And the cool thing is you can use that gift to build your business. So you can use that as an incentive for people to host. You can use it as an incentive for other people to order. You could do a drawing with it. There's a lot of great things you can do. So I always like to get the free product of the month. To make money, you need to be doing your 100. To get the free gift, you need to be doing the 125. And I want to make sure that you never drop your order below 100 because I've had people temporarily drop it below and they've missed out on commissions. So we don't want that to happen. Now, I want to make sure that you are getting support and training. That's another really important thing. I want you to identify a mentor that you are going to be checking in with on a weekly basis. Ideally it will be, this is the perfect world, and I realize that it's not always a perfect world, but reach out and find the person who introduced you to the business that's doing the business themselves and say, hey, I would like to set up a weekly mentor call with you. Now, you may already be doing that, and that's great. If you are having a difficult time, like let's say that somebody enrolled you that doesn't do the business, reach out. Who else is doing it? All of you guys are either on Julie, Dave, Jessica, Scott, and Cheyenne, or Melody's team. And I know there's a great builder, or Kylie West. There's a great builder. There's several great builders on my team, and they have great builders below them. So reach up. Find the person that introduced you to the business. If they're not currently doing it, go above that person and find someone who is actively engaged in this business and do a weekly mentor call with them. It will be great for you to learn from their successes, but it will also be great for you to be accountable so that you have someone that you're checking in with on a weekly basis to make sure that you're doing those things that you need to do to grow your business. And you can talk about what we do on these weekly trainings right now. So, we're going to talk about why you're doing this business. This will be a great opportunity for you to work with somebody and say, here's why I'm doing this business. It's so powerful if someone else knows why you're on this journey. So like I said, make sure that you've identified a mentor and you're doing your weekly check-ins, and then being a part of a weekly team call. I don't, this right now I'm doing these success trainings, and then I always have some sort of training going on or another. If you're part of the Healthy Living Essentials business group, you will always find some sort of training that we have going on, and you'll always have resources for you. So make sure you're a part of that group. And then make sure that you're attending your local and regional trainings. So, many of you are outside of Utah, and there will be post-convention tours. Go to those post-convention tours. It's always, even if they're not talking about anything business related, you're able to hitch your wagon to doTERRA's and be a part of the great causes that they're a part of. And it just reinvigorates why you're doing this business. And so make sure that you're going to those things. And then make sure that you have the right tools that you need to build the business. Make sure you've got the tear pads that you need, the handouts for building, and the Share Success system is a great one. And that's everything that's pictured here. Sorry, my phone's buzzing at me, so I'm putting it somewhere else. You can just make sure you have the right tools. And I'm going to be talking about that as we go along. I'll talk about what tools you need. So don't stress and think I need everything right now. Make sure that all of you guys have a good book or some sort of personal development. Maybe you're listening to a book or you're reading a book that's going to help you expand yourself so that you can expand your business. Those are the things that you want to make sure you have. Now, the next thing that I want you guys to do is really do some goal setting. I think it will be really fun this week to dream big. I want everybody to make a vision board, which I always love. I want to make sure you guys are doing a vision board. I tend to always update mine after convention because I'm excited. I've been to gala. I've seen new people walk as new ranks. I've seen doTERRA, and I'm like, woohoo, I'm going Presidential Diamond next year. But then it comes to really deciding, am I really ready to move to that next rank in my business? Because I've got a great thing going. Am I really ready? And the answer is yes. That's part of the reason my husband and I are going to be traveling back and forth between Missouri and Utah is I'm ready to expand my business, work on some things there, and work on some things that I've got going on out there, which, and I've got great stuff here too. So I'm like, I've got to be two places in one. So we'll make that happen. So really deciding what you want to do. And I think this is a powerful goal sheet that helps you to figure out what you're experiencing right now. And just, because that may help you determine why you want to do this. What are you experiencing right now? Finances are finances a source of stress? Are you debt free? Do you have money in savings? Are you financially prepared? Are you experiencing life as you want to? Are you able to go on trips? Are you able to do the things that come up that you're thinking, man, I wish I could take my kids to Disneyland, or I wish I could, are you able to do those things? Are you living your dream? Are you feeling inspired to do what you do? And then are you spending as much time with the people that you care about? Are you making a difference? And that is one thing that was so huge to me about this last convention is, am I making a difference? I loved that they gave the Elevation Award to Betsy Holmes this year because that woman is so involved in charitable things. I'm friends with her from doTERRA, but I also follow her on Facebook, and it's like she's in Ghana, and she's always doing something to serve other people, and that's so huge. And I love that that's what she's investing so much of her time, energy, and financial resources to, because it's such a great thing to use what you've created and help bless the lives of other people. So, go through and rate yourself where you are with each one of those things on a scale from 1 to 10, and then decide, what do you want to create in your life? And then what kind of money do you need to make that happen? For me, I've shared my story many times about IVF, but my husband and I, to get pregnant, we have to do IVF. No romance involved. It involves needles, doctors, and petri dishes and ultrasound machines. So it's nothing all that exciting. And it also involves thousands of dollars. For us to do an IVF cycle is $13,000 just to have a baby. Right now in my life, we're blessed financially so that is an option. Excuse me. That's an option for us. We can do that, but so many people can't. And I really want to be able to help more people with infertility who are experiencing infertility to be able to create, to have their families that they want to have. I was able to reach out to my neighbor girl that I knew was wanting to get pregnant and unable to get pregnant and wanting to do IVF, but I knew she was literally putting the entire thing on her credit card. So, for me to be able to go to her and say, let me help you out with this was huge. Her IVF cycle failed. She did not get pregnant. She had literally racked up thousands of dollars of debt on her credit card. I didn't pay for the whole thing. I just helped. I went back to her and I said, I'm so sorry, you guys, I have a frog in my throat. But I went back to her and said, you know what? Go ahead and do a frozen cycle, which means you guys are learning all the technical terms of in vitro, but go back and what they do is if you have extra embryos or extra frozen babies, pretty much, when after you do an IVF cycle, they'll freeze them and then let you use them in the future. And it's a cheaper way, and it's cheaper because you already have them. They're already there. I said, go ahead and do a frozen cycle. It was $3,000 and I paid for it for her. And being able to do that, it's just, when you serve other people and do other people, it feels good. It's exciting. If everyone can mute themselves, that would be awesome. Just hit the mute button on your computer. That would be great, or your phone. But being able to do that, it was awesome. And a lot of times I get wrapped up in my own problems and my own life and my own issues and feeling sorry for myself or, life's so hard. And when I can stop and serve other people and think about someone other than myself, it's so huge. And it can get me out of a funk. It can get me out of bad mood. So to be able to do those things is huge. And I want to be able to do that on a larger scale. Be able to reach out to other people. And okay. If everyone can mute themselves, that would be so wonderful. Anyway, being able to give back is so huge and so important. So, I think it'd be great for you guys to find out what you're passionate about and what you would need, what you would need money for. Because honestly, for me to have a goal is what drives me. And even as I talk about that, I'm like, yes, I want to go presidential diamond in a year because I can help more people have a family. And that is something I'm so passionate about. So make sure you have a good, solid goal, something that you want to create. And then it's good to outline your goals. If you're just kind of wandering around and seeing we'll just see how this goes. I'll see how my first class goes, or I'll see who's interested. You guys are not going to make your goals. Because if you just say, I'm going to just do a class and see what kind of response I get, you're going to get a crummy response, because people are going to feel that energy of, she's not really sure about this, so I'm not really sure about this. But if you're like, no, I'm going to make this happen. I am going to find people that are looking for this experience in their life. Maybe they just need an oil to help with headaches, neck tension, head tension, whatever. You can be able to impact so many more people if you know that you want to do this business. So having goals along the way is huge. Sometimes I fall victim of that, as long as my team's moving forward, that's great. Okay, well, that's not a good thing. How much do I want my team to be moving forward? How many new diamonds do I want a year on my team? How many new silvers? How many new elites? I need to quantify what I want so that I can move forward and be able to see, hey, if I want, 5 new silvers on my team a month, then I need to reach out to the premiers that I know are working towards silver and help them achieve that goal. So have specific goals. Those are so huge. It is so hard to accidentally achieve something big. You need to have something in mind of what you want to achieve. So I definitely recommend having a 30-day goal. And I love that it says non-negotiable. This is what I want. This isn't just if this works or, maybe this will work. It's, no, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it happen. So figure out what's your 30-day goal, what's your 90-day goal, what's your 1-year goal. And guess what, you guys? I'm doing this with you. I'm going to fill out this form too, and I'm excited about it because it is going to make me be accountable. And then I want you to decide why you're doing doTERRA. And I know it asks you 4 different things. Why am I doing doTERRA? Why is this important to me? Why is that important to me? Why is that important to me? The reason they do that, if you just say, I want to make money, okay, well, that's great. But why is it important that you have money? Well, I want to be able to take my kids on vacation. Okay, but why is it important for you to take your kids on vacation? Because I want to create memories with my kids. Okay, but why do you want to create memories with your kids? So you want to, if that makes sense, you want to get to a really deep why of more than I just want money, or I just want vacations, or I just want to be able to be involved with charitable organizations. Well, why do you want to be involved in charitable organizations? Because I can change lives. Why do you want to change lives? Because people matter. Well, you really want to dig deep with each why that you pick. So what you want to do, and I do want you doing this week, is text a picture of your goals to your upline support. So whoever that mentor that you're identifying is, you're going to complete pages 5 and 6 in your launch guide. And the pipes thing we're going to talk about next week, but you're welcome to peek ahead and see that. But that's basically just setting up a schedule for success. But I want you posting your goals in a place you can see them. Julie Driggs is a gold on my team. And I remember I went to her house and I was like, Julie, why do you have planets all over your wall? She had taken, Julie's an artist, by the way, so I love this, but she had cut out round circles representing people on her team, and she had mapped them out on her wall what she needed for Power of 3 and what she needed for her next rank. And it was visually on her wall, and she could see, this leg needs to be at this volume, this leg needs to be at that volume. But it was a visual that made sense to her, that worked for her, that she was able to utilize, which I loved. So make sure that whatever it is that you're doing or whatever works well for you, post that by your kitchen sink, your bathroom, your mirrors, your office. If you came to my convention party in particular, I gave everybody a diamond. If you've been to any of my convention parties, you still have a diamond from them too. Because I'm big on handing out diamonds because I think it's so representative of achieving success in doTERRA. You can even just leave a diamond out. I bought a purple diamond because in doTERRA, anything presidential related is purple. Like if you're a presidential diamond, they used to give you a purple ribbon, said presidential diamond. Blue diamond obviously is blue ribbon, and gold is obviously gold, but presidential is represented with purple. And so I bought a huge purple diamond at Disneyland, or gemstone, I should say. It's obviously fake and plastic, but it's looks like a big purple diamond. And my daughter stole it and put it in her room. But every time I see that, I think about Presidential Diamond. And I think about, am I doing what I need to do to achieve that goal? So have a visual for yourself. So maybe it's an actual vision board. Maybe it's you draw planets on your wall like Julie did. And maybe it's just something that's of significance to you, that you'll know what that means. And it will remind you every day of what you want to accomplish. And then make sure that you're journaling daily to clarify why you're doing this. And then receive insights on how to achieve your goals. You guys are going to run into obstacles. We all do. We run into moments of, sometimes we're hesitant to set goals because we've been trying to reach the next level for a year or 2 or 3. And we're thinking, what's going to be different about this time? I've been trying this for 2 years. Why am I going to keep doing this? I've already been burned. I don't want to do this. But it's like, no, dig deep and figure out how to get to that next level, and use your journaling exercises to help you do that. Talk about how you feel. And, I think it will also help you when you're doing your mentor calls. So I definitely want you doing doing those mentor calls. I have this red thing on my screen. Not even sure what that means, but whatever. Okay, so your assignments this week. I want to make sure you're equipped. Is your order set up, and do you have material ready to go? I don't want you spending, all of your time getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. And what that means is, I don't need you organizing your essential oils in alphabetical order. I don't need you making sample bottles again for the 97th time. Make sure that you have the equipment and what you need, but don't focus all your time and effort on that. Focus on, quickly getting ready what you need. You need a tear pad for class. You need to have, what do you need for class? And you need samples. You absolutely need samples. So make sure you have your samples ready. You're ready to teach a class and share. Make sure that you're ready for that. Do you have the right equipment to do that? And if you have questions on that, reach out to your mentor. And then I want you to truly decide this week where you're going on this journey. I would love to celebrate with so many of you at Gala next year, walking as diamonds. I think that would be so amazing and inspirational. It's so fun to watch somebody on your team walk as a diamond. I think I had 4 diamonds this last year walking that, and then 2 blue diamonds. It was awesome. And it was fun because I had a mom walking as a blue diamond and her daughter was walking as a diamond. And that was really cool. So I want you to figure out where you're going with this journey of yours and fill out page 6 of the launch guide. I want you to send a picture to me and your mentor. So this is how you're going to be moving forward. So you can either text me your picture or you can email me your picture. You can email it just via, you can get on email and attach a picture. And my email is oldham.jenn, JENN@gmail.com. So you're going to send me a picture once you filled out page 6. And then I want you to create a vision board. And I love seeing pictures of people's vision boards. So find a place to post your vision board. It could even be on your personal Facebook page. It could be on your Instagram. It could be wherever. I think it's great for people to see what you're going and what you're striving for. Even if they're not on your doTERRA journey with you, you could, and when I say show a picture, if you really aren't big on social media and you feel more comfortable just sending me a picture, that's great. I think it's great for your team to see what you're doing though. So I think you can just say, so maybe you have a Facebook group for your team. I think that's great. Go ahead and post your picture on there. You want your team to see where you're going with this. I think that's so huge. For me, I think it's inspirational. If you guys know that I'm moving forward, it helps you want to move forward. If I was like, we'll see what happens this next year. Obviously I want to be at convention and Blue Diamond would be nice. I don't really want to go backwards, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with my kids. Is that going to motivate anybody or inspire anybody? No. But if you hear me say, here's what I'm working for. I want to be debt free. I don't want a house payment. I want to be able to fund IVF programs. And I want to show you pictures of these little babies, here's my friend's baby. She just had a beautiful baby boy. Here he is, and I want to be able to, I really want to be able to take my whole family on a vacation. Here was a picture of that vacation. So I think it's so important to know that we're all moving forward together and sharing that with each other so that we can enjoy success together. It's really fun when you see something on a vision board and you see someone achieve that. There was a builder and she's on another team, but she posted a picture. She literally did a Facebook Live video and said, you guys, I'm able to cross something off my vision board. And it was the fact that she had gone to the gym every day for a month, except for on the weekends. And that inspired me. I thought that was so great. And it wasn't even financial related. It was, she had gone to the gym every single day. And when I saw her at convention, I realized she's lost weight. That's so great. Just seeing her achieve success is so great. So make sure that you're sharing your vision board with other people so that you can celebrate together as well. I think that's so huge. You are also more than welcome to post a picture of your vision board to the Healthy Living Essentials business. I think that's a great place to do it as well. We can inspire each other. So next slide, want to win. So this week I'm going to do an Aroma Touch kit. I put Aroma Touch. If you'd like an Aroma Touch from me and you live near me, I will give you an Aroma Touch as well. But I'm going to do an Aroma Touch kit. So I want you to, the first week's assignments, honestly, you'll see I have a little assignment sheet, but you're making sure that you're equipped, your LRP set up, you've got your stuff ready to go to build. And really that's for you to decide. Do you feel prepared? If you feel prepared, then you've done it. You don't have to live by my standards because we all have different things that we like to have done. Have you decided why you're doing your business? Have you done your worksheet page 5 of this launch guide? You're just checking yes or no. That's all it is. And I probably put something snarky or sassy on there. Like, yes, I did this, or no, I didn't have time, or what's a launch guide? But you're going to fill out the homework assignment, and then you are doing a vision board. So it's simple this week. It's fun. It's dreaming. It's what are you creating with doTERRA? And we're keeping it that simple. Next week, we'll move forward with the next couple of things, and we'll be giving something else away. So are there any questions or comments before we wrap up today's webinar? You guys are welcome to unmute yourself if you have any questions or comments. Who's excited? I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm so scared. Whenever I put out there that I'm going to do something bigger than what I'm already doing, I'm like, oh boy, I'm ready. Let's do this. I know it's going to mean rejection. I know it's going to mean vulnerability. I know it's going to mean, but it's also going to mean great reward. So it's exciting. It's like, oh, okay, because I'm going out to a new area. I'm going to go out and meet new people. I'm going to go do what it takes to make new friends and, make new friends, because that's how I find people that want to do this with me, whether it's just using oils or building. And I'm also going to have people tell me no. So there's scary things about it, but I'm excited too, because I know that with anytime that something's hard, the growth from it is huge. So I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Let's do this. All right, let's do it. I love it. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in with me today. And the link for submitting the homework is, I will post this on week 1 launch guide, the events. I'll just post, it's just this link right here. I'm sure you guys probably don't want to memorize this or even copyright it down and have to type it in letter for letter. So I will post this to that event that's that advertise this event to begin with, and you can submit your homework. Take care and have a wonderful week.